The average American melts their face off. Sonic is the king of the castle. Batman theme, da na 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 na, delayed again. Hess truck theme, Mamoa is back and he's better than ever. DJ Khaled voice, Anutha one. What if your series ends and no one cares? The biggest crossover event since Allen Iverson. I shouldn't have said event since Allen Iverson in 2001. But first, news dump. Butcher the shit out of those
Dude,
headlines.
don't read the parentheses. That's the whole point of the parentheses is you don't read it.
I wouldn't know that. How would
It's
I
a
know
stage
that?
direction, you know? Fucking grow up. Act like you've been there before. Aren't you supposed to be the professional?
I thought you were. No? Okay. Well, Mac, you wrote there in the headlines about Americans burning their faces off, and that is because PCMagazine.com says that the average American has spent 2.5 months on their phones in the year 2024.
Yeah, so 3 months would be a quarter of the year. So it's a
Yeah.
little under that, but above a fifth or above a sixth. So think about that per day, right?
Mhm.
Let's say generously people are sleeping 6 hours. So 18 hours in a day, 10% of that is what?
Math.
10% of 18 hours is
Stop.
like an hour 50 minutes maybe. So
Yeah.
double that. So people are spending like 3 hours a day on their phone. I think it's even more than that, dude. I think for most people it's more than that.
Okay, so it is up 42% from last year, which is kind of alarming. But let me read off some of these stats and let's see if you do this and I do this. 80.6% of people check their phones within 10 minutes of waking up. I do that.
Well, of my phone is my alarm clock, so of course I do that.
Yeah, but when you turn to it, do you just hit snooze or do you start checking Twitter and
Oh, well,
shit?
I snooze like the first 3. Yeah, and then eventually
I've
I
read
go
that hitting snooze is bad for you.
probably is. Still gonna do
Okay.
it.
So keep that in mind. 65.7% of us use the phone on the toilet. That seems low.
That's a lie. Gotta be 90. The only people that aren't using it are probably people like 65 plus.
Yeah, they're reading joke books and shit. I would argue that I use the toilet sometimes just to use my phone.
Say that one more time.
Sometimes I use the toilet just to use my phone.
So it's your office. It's your alone time.
My
I
office. I'm
I
like
would
the
say that
farm.
my phone certainly extends my toilet time by like triple.
53.7% of us have texted someone in the same room. Absolutely. Are they saying daily or on the year?
Yeah, just in general, almost everyone's done that. That's actually probably too low.
Yeah. How else would we talk behind someone's back?
Right, exactly.
We can't insult someone to their face. Let's cyberbully them. 38.1% of us use or look at their phone or our phones while on a date. Does that include with a spouse? Because, yeah, you're going to do that every once in a while. I would say that when I was dating and it was someone that, I wasn't in a relationship with yet, I wouldn't use the phone at all, actually.
Yeah, I make a concerted effort to also
Yeah.
not use the phone. In fact, I'll usually like take my phone and like put it so they can
Yeah.
see it's there and I'm not checking it
Yeah.
because I feel like that's just a respect thing. But of course, when you've been with someone for a decade, that changes things.
Actually, no. When they would start talking to me, I would just slowly bring the phone up and just look and just tap like that. And then 27% of us use or look at our phones while driving. I try not to, but I do.
Yeah, that's also a lie there. It's probably more like 2/3. I usually have it mounted, so I'm looking at it occasionally. And then
Mhm.
at a stoplight, I'm gonna bust that son of a bitch out and see what's going on.
I'm driving with two hands and I'm holding the phone on the steering wheel like this. I'm gonna stare
I
straight
mean,
down.
sometimes you'll catch people watching shows. Like it's fucking wild what some people do while driving.
I don't think I've ever watched the show, but I have peeked at like a YouTube video or something.
Sure,
So I guess I'm
sure.
in that. But also,
Especially
you're
like
changing the song, you're changing the
yeah,
podcast,
yeah,
you're looking at your map. Everyone's looking at their map on their phone, and if your phone isn't connected to your car, what are you gonna do?
yeah, exactly.
Should we change our ways?
That's not gonna change. But so what they need to do if they want to get rid of distracted driving, which they're not going to, just make the cars are getting there. You just basically have to have a better center console in your car so that you're not
Yeah.
tempted to reach for your phone,
You need to have a 42-inch screen right there mounted on your
like a Tesla.
console.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that you can really, really pay attention to that.
Actually, just take the driving out of our hands. Make every car self-driving so we can look at our phone.
Finally, or just have them fly. If we're all flying, no one can get into an accident.
That's right. It's a lot of air up there.
News dump. Oh, their box office. Sonic 3 has won once again. It is down 37% from its first week, but still made $38 million so far worldwide. It has made $211.5. Mufasa, way better week in its second week. I feel like people that wanted to see both movies went Sonic first, then Mufasa. Still middling grades on the movie in its second week, up 4.8% to 37 million. It has made 328 worldwide. Nosferatu has made some bank at the box office over this past weekend. The rated R horror movie, 21.1 million domestic so far worldwide, 43 million since Christmas Day. Wicked in week 6, up 37.5% to almost $20 million. Was it released with the lyrics on the screen? Is that what people are going
On
to
Christmas in select theaters, they had the sing-along release
I don't know how
as
much that
well.
plays into it, but still.
Yeah, well, you're also dealing with, kids on break now,
Yeah.
kinda getting to see it for the first time too.
We need to kill 2.5 hours. What should we do? Let's see part 1 of a 2-part movie. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. You have here that Wicked has become the highest grossing musical adaptation of all time globally, passing Mamma Mia.
You didn't, read my note about Nosferatu.
I was fucking ripping off numbers. What is your Nosferatu
Nicholas
tidbit?
Hoult, has been seen holding a framed, I guess not an image, the actual thing. He has
Mhm.
framed Count Orlok's prosthetic penis. He now owns that. That's his.
Oh, warning to the audience. If you are with a younger family member or whatever the hell you're doing, this is an adult-oriented program.
Fuck them kids.
We got a request that if we're going to talk about tiny peckers, put a
Yo,
little warning at the top.
I've seen Sonic.
Yeah.
It's solid. I think I like the second one a little bit better, but
Okay.
it's pretty much in that same vein. The second one was pretty good.
Mhm.
If you like the second one, you're gonna like this one. And they have, if you're gonna go see it and haven't seen it yet, a mid credit and a post credit. Mid credit's pretty decent.
Mhm.
I've decided I'm not gonna see Mufasa in the theater. I just
Okay.
have no drive to see it. I haven't heard good things about the music, even though it is Lin-Manuel Miranda. Nosferatu is probably gonna be my next theater movie. It's my
Same.
guess.
I've also heard with Mufasa, Scar is dumb. And I don't appreciate a dumb Scar.
Yeah, I agree. He's supposed to be cold and calculated, right?
Also, he's Taka. He is Taka, I've heard.
Although this is maybe the story of how he becomes cold and calculated.
Like, maybe he's a big dummy and he's like, I should change my ways because this guy stole my throne. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Moana 2 back with a nice weekend, up about 38% to 18.2 million. It has made 882.5 million worldwide so far, getting close to that $1 billion mark. A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie, made 11.5 over the weekend, 23 million so far. And Baby Girl, the finger in the mouth movie, is in its first weekend, $4.5 million, 7.2 so far since Christmas.
Let me pitch an episode idea for you.
Yeah.
Maybe not the next one, but maybe in like a week and a half,
Mhm.
maybe 2 weeks. What have you been watching lately? But specifically for 3 movies. Number one,
For finger and mouth movies.
no, Anora, which
Mhm.
is by all accounts maybe the best movie of the year, but it's up in the conversation. Nosferatu and A
Yeah.
Complete Unknown. I think those 3 would be a
Okay.
nice little episode.
News dump. The Batman, the big news coming out over the weekend, came out on Friday, right as we were recording. Dump, it put a little tail at the end of the last dump, but the movie has been delayed once again, this time to October 1st, 2027. Production is set to begin this summer. James Gunn said the Batman 2 was delayed because the script isn't finished. Matt Reeves is committed to making the best film he possibly can, and no one can accurately guess exactly how long a script will take to write. He also pointed out that 5-year gap between a sequel and the first movie, not that uncommon, saying it was 7 years between Alien and Aliens, 14 between The Incredibles. Granted, those were animated fucking characters. 7 between, I already did 7. Yeah, 7 again between Terminators, 13 between Avatars, 36 between Top Guns, And of course, 6 between Guardians 2 and 3, but that's because you
Let's
got fired, James.
let's run through those scenarios. Number one, Alien and Aliens was late 70s, early 80s. So
Mhm.
that could be explained away right there. Technology and time.
They're also
Do you
different
do,
genres.
do you want to compare the Batman 2 to Incredibles 2? I don't think that's what you're shooting for. That doesn't help your case.
He's just
Uh,
saying that there have been good sequels after a
I'll
long
I'll
layoff.
give him T2 here. We'll give him T2. You get one. 13 years between avatars. Are you I'm not an Avatar guy, but are you having groundbreaking technology developed while you're making your
That's the
movie?
thing is that
No.
with the Avatar movies, they only make them when they have new technology.
Get your fucking corn out of my face with the Top Gun thing. Get the fuck out of here. And you got fired in between the Guardians movies. That's why it took that long. Listen, this is gonna sound fucking stupid, but I feel like
What else is
5
new?
years between sequels in this day and age is fucking unacceptable. It's my money and I need it now. 5
Yeah,
years and I'm more mad now because the third movie is going to come out 10 years after the first movie. Like what the
it
fuck
is
are we
bad.
doing here? Like
Yeah.
that's really disappointing, disheartening, and for him to tell us that the script isn't finished yet based on everything we've seen in
We
the
might
first
not
movie
be
and then the
getting this in
Penguin
October of
series,
2027.
that tells me that now Gunn is involved and they're trying to parcel out what Reeves can and can't use because Gunn has plans in his DCU. And that is tremendously disappointing. If it's going to be its own thing, it shouldn't matter what he's using and what he's doing. And to me, that screams, and I love James Gunn, that screams Gunn is probably getting involved too much. Let
Oh,
Reeves do his thing.
no.
It's separate. And now we got to wait 5 years and probably another 3 or 4 after that. I'm just fucking annoyed, dude. It's really frustrating. Really, really frustrating to get on screen a Batman we've never seen before. Most of us love it. There's a certain Batman fan
Yeah.
waiting forever for that Batman, and now you got to wait another eternity to get the second iteration.
It does suck because that first movie was Batman in year 2, so we're supposed to be getting a young Batman's journey, and
Right.
we're gonna be I don't know if we're gonna jump the 5 years, but we are getting the 5-year break in between, which sucks.
It is. It
Obviously,
is.
we want the best movie possible, but there's a very good chance that we're gonna be dead by the time this movie comes out.
Well, that's so to that point, I can jump on board. Okay, if it's supposed to come out 2 years after and it gets to bump to 3 to craft the best movie possible. If you get bumped off a couple times and now you're 5 years out, that doesn't help the movie. I don't care what anyone says, that does not help the movie. This will not be the best of the Batman 2 possible.
News dump. We got some good news from the DCEU universe, and that is Jason Momoa is returning, but not as Aquaman. According to Variety and now confirmed by James Gunn and Momoa, he will be Lobo in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. That movie is set to come out way before the Batman on June 26th, 2026.
I mean, we're gonna have like 19 DCU movies before the Batman 2 comes out. Christ. This was a fan casting for a year or two now, so I'm happy
Mhm.
this came together. It seems like all sides are going to be happy with this. Momoa gets to stay in the DCU. He gets to play a character that's probably more in line with who he actually is. He looks the part, and so I'm pleased with this casting.
Yeah, Momoa always talks about, when he used to collect comics, Lobo was his favorite. So
Mm, mm.
nice. Very good. News dump. We can add another character to the list that will
Another
be
one.
showing up in Avengers Doomsday, and that is Daredevil, who will. So this comes out after Reborn, correct? Or Born Again?
Yeah, because Born Again's this or
I
2025,
don't know
isn't it?
what year it is anymore, man.
I think
Yeah, it
Born
does.
Again's in
It,
like
it
3
does.
months.
Yeah, it does. You're right. Okay. I don't even know why I asked. I'm sorry. But yeah, he's going to pop up there.
It seems like every week we're just going to get an additional character to the point we're gonna have, and I guess this is what this like. Well, it has changed since the King iteration of the story, but it sounds like this story that they're building towards is going to involve like 200 heroes.
I mean, they should just have it on there. Everyone's going to be there. Keep your peepers popped. News dump. Got a trailer for the animated show Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is coming out at the end of January. I like the animation, but the voice is a little off.
I really like the animation actually. So I'll say
Yeah.
one nice thing before saying one bad thing.
Oh, I
I
also like the whole feel of the show too. So there's a couple things here. Like it feels like a fun Spider-Man show. The animation is cool, but like you tweeted out, the voice is weird.
for like a 15-year-old Peter Parker, it sounds like a 32-year-old guy.
Yeah.
And he's like putting a lot of pizzazz into some of it. And it's just, I don't know. It's not, I'm sure after a couple episodes, I'll overlook it, but very distracting in the trailer. But
Yes.
again, the setting of this Spider-Man story looks pretty cool, both in Spider-Man's life and, in the city.
Mhm.
The animation looks super cool, and
Yeah.
so I'm sure we're gonna like this show. It's just that I don't care for the voice actor.
News dump. Oh boy, Mac, this caught my eye here, and this is just a rumor. This is from Scooper at My Time to Shine, but we have a rumored director for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, and this seems almost too good to be true. This seems like it might not be the thing. But Aquaman director James Wan is eyed to be at the helm of this movie. Someone who not only has worked on comic book movies, but they've also worked on a number of horror films like The Conjuring, Saw, Insidious, and Malignant. Um, I would love this, but I don't think it's true.
I don't know why anyone would look at this and think that James Wan directing it is a good thing.
What?
James Wan
Oh, fuck
makes
you.
decent stuff. I mean, obviously Saw, as you mentioned, Insidious, The Conjuring, but like the Insidious, The Conjuring, like I still have ill will towards the folks that saw The Conjuring a decade ago and were like, "That's the fucking scariest movie ever." Not even fucking close to it. Get the hell out of my face. And ever since then, Goo, he's made uh some more horror stuff, and his ventures into comic book movies, Goo, Aquaman, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Why would you want James
I
Wan's
like the
fucking
first Aquaman. I think he's
shitty,
great for the
stupid
first one.
palms on this
No,
amazing,
no.
amazing
So
TMNT
no.
story?
So he did a great job on the first Aquaman. He did
Or
Fast
didn't?
7, so he's done action movies and he's done horror stuff. He can take
Yeah.
all of those
Oh,
elements
so
and
you
put
so
them
you
in.
want The Last Ronin to be Fast 7.
Fast 7 has some good action, might be the best Fast movie. I'm not saying to make
I
Fast
don't
7, but I
I
think
don't
James
give a
Wan would be a
fuck
great choice
about
for this.
the action. The Last Ronin at its core is a great story. I
Right.
want a good storyteller to tell
Yeah.
that story,
This guy
not
can
James
do it.
Wan.
This guy does a good job with his pictures.
Don't agree.
I will take James Wan
Out on
gladly.
James Wan.
Gladly take James Wan. Also, this is a question asked on the Weekly Planet of would you want this to be a legacy sequel to the 1990s movie, or do you just not care?
I don't care, number one,
Mhm.
but my real answer is no, because this is a much darker tone than anything they gave us before.
Well,
Create a
right,
new
right.
universe.
No, but this is a darker tone that is still from the lighter tone. It's just them in the future.
From the lighter tone, but the 90s stuff was too light of a tone, dare I say.
No, the 1990s movie, the first one
So we're
was
gonna
not
requel it, get rid of like the second and third one, maybe?
right. That's what you'd have to do because those two
Okay.
are way too light. The first one
Yeah.
is actually pretty dark.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
News dump. Robert Eggers said, and this might have been in one of those Criterion closets, I don't know, but he said that Home Alone is a masterpiece. Masterpiece, not Master Peach.
He was in the giant masterpiece.
I watch it once a year. It is a masterpiece, a timeless classic. It is impeccably photographed, unlike many movies in its genre. It's not overshot, and it is really well crafted. I agree. Home Alone deserves all of the accolades, all of the praise for this is, and I love Elf, this is my go-to Christmas movie.
I think Elf is for me, but Home Alone's right there, as is Home Alone 2 because of the ridiculousness.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I appreciate I what this really is, Goo, is Robert Eggers' attempt to be an everyman because his movies
Yeah,
aren't everyman movies. So I'm glad he's making the concerted effort. Nosferatu is already the highest grossing
yeah.
movie he's ever made. But he's right. He's 100% right. Like it's this absolute standard
Mhm.
for a whole subgenre of movies. Home Alone is the absolute standard for Christmas movies. And if you can create a Home Alone like movie, you're successful. And there's been hundreds of attempts at copycat movies over the years. And I'll tell you, it's he watches it once a year. I watch it like 20 times a year, 15 times a year. I
Between
watch
the
it
first
probably 8 or 10 times during the Christmas season alone.
between the first and second Home Alone movies, I think I watched them 9 or 10 times this past Christmas season.
Yeah, there you go.
It also, like you just said, it's him not sticking up his nose at at a silly slapstick movie.
Yeah, which
And
most
then
people should
people
do.
have also, I might have just seen it this year, but people have also pointed out that Chris Columbus not only sailed the ocean blue in 1492, but he also
Yeah,
directed the first couple Harry Potter movies.
he did.
And there are a lot of similar shots in Home Alone and in Harry Potter.
Yeah, he's had his hand at crafting the young minds of a lot of folks in this world because of those Harry Potter movies and Home Alone.
News dump. Blade Runner 2099 has wrapped. Blade Runner 2099, starring Hunter Schafer and Michelle Yeoh, has wrapped filming, coming soon to Prime Video. And Mac wrote here, I hope it's better than Dune, the show.
The Dune show is stinky diapers. It's poo poo. It's not good.
Put it on the
It
DVD
feels
cover. Stinky
it
diaper.
feels like what the CW was to the DCU. That's what it feels
No,
like.
that's not
Um,
nice.
no, nope. So that's tremendously disappointing, especially coming off the back of Dune 2. So I'm hoping Blade Runner 2099, and again, if you haven't heard me say this or you haven't seen it, Blade Runner 2049, masterpiece of a film, 40 dogger. And I don't even really care for the first Blade Runner. So that tells you how good that movie is. So I hope this is close to 2049. Of course, I can't expect it to be a masterpiece, but I'm hoping for it. At the very least, just be much better than that Dune show, because that Dune show is garbage.
News dump. And finally, we have gotten our teaser video for the crossover event of the year. This is the Allen Iverson on Michael Jordan. And it's the
Allen Iverson over
always
Tyronn Lue is what I was referencing.
right, but Allen Iverson also crossed up Michael Jordan.
Yeah, his rookie year, he did.
Yeah. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, crossing over with ABC's Abbott Elementary. This is coming out on January 8th. We've been seeing teased photos and tweets and X's and everything else. But Mac, I am here to tell you, I don't get it.
Well,
What am I missing?
you simply haven't watched one of the shows, so this wouldn't be for you.
No, but you can usually watch a crossover and understand what's happening. The characters in this 30-second tease for It's Always Sunny, I don't understand how they are supposed, or why. Why are they there?
I mean, they're both in Philadelphia. It seems pretty obvious why they're there. Like, I I'm not gonna pretend this is gonna blow my socks off, but if you're a fan of both shows, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it. It does appear as though the Sunny characters are taken down a notch to appeal more to the Abbott Elementary crowd. So I hope that's not the case, but it probably is gonna be the case because you're going from FX to what is Abbott on? Fucking
ABC.
ABC? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that's what's gonna happen naturally. I have been watching Abbott Elementary. I enjoy the show. I enjoy
Okay.
the show. It's not a show I would scream to my friends they gotta watch, but I have enjoyed it. It's not as good as Sunny.
Why would you scream at your
Um,
friends?
but I understand why this crossover is happening. That's for sure.
Okay. I still don't get it. Tonally, I don't understand it.
Totally, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Top of your head, best crossover television thing ever.
Oh, great question.
Shall I jump in really quick?
Sure, go.
When Salem the Cat used to run through every ABC show on TGIF.
I did really like the TGIF crossovers. Those were great. Those were real good.
Whether it be
That's
Salem the Cat or Urkel, they would have
yeah.
one character just weave through all the shows.
You know what was greatly anticipated for months when we
What was
were
that?
kids, borderline teens, was the Jimmy Timmy crossover, Fairly Odd Parents and
Jimmy
Jimmy
Timmy
Neutron.
crossover was good.
That was real nice.
There was that one. Am I allowed to use Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue? That
No.
wasn't a television show. That was just them bringing every cartoon character to one spot to say, don't do heroin. And guess what? I've never done heroin, so fuck
Do you
Mac.
think that's what the next Avengers movie is gonna be like? They're getting everyone together just for PSA?
Like, if they made it a PSA about not doing drugs, then the
Mhm.
critics really can't slam it.
Right. Oh, you were endorsing heroin, huh?
They're like, "Oh, you guys think we should do fentanyl right now? I think we should fucking start eating fentanyl right now? I'm not gonna do it because the Avengers told me not to. I'm
Yeah.
out on fentanyl now." I also really liked I didn't mind the Simpsons and Family Guy one.
Solid.
I'm trying to think of more. Oh, the Brooklyn Nine-Nine New Girl one was very odd.
Oh, I don't even know if I've watched that because I don't know if I still haven't finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I didn't care for New Girl, so
Yeah.
it's wasn't made for me.
Jess was eating soup in the
You know
episode.
what? I think I did see it actually. Was that when he I'm trying to think. Was it when he was in the show, was he already married to, what's her face?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, alright, well,
Oh, good
doesn't
one
matter.
right here. Fresh Prince, when they crossed over with the Jeffersons and Different Strokes.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
iCarly Victorious,
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one.
X-Files and Cops. There were a bunch of Cops parodies. Does that count as a crossover?
I don't think so.
No. Jetsons and Flintstones, that was the first one I ever
That
saw.
was a good one. That was a good one.
Simpsons Futurama. Oh, when they used to cross over Batman and Superman, but those are just two characters that intertwine.
Yeah, that doesn't really count.
Oh, I Love Lucy and the Adventures of Superman. I do remember that one. That was weird. Friends and Mad About You. Mad About You is also crossed over with Seinfeld.
Yeah, 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 that's true. Forgot about that one.
It just really made more of a shared universe than anything else. Here's
Yeah,
one for
that's it
you.
wasn't quite a crossover.
This one probably blew your dick off. That's So Raven, The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and Hannah Montana.
Cock was gone.
Nothing left.
I was hogless.
Oh, what about all those Chicago shows when they would cross over fire, hospital, and
No,
police?
that's like a shared universe. They, like, all interconnect all the time.
One that should have been better and really should have blown our dicks off, and that is the Power Rangers Ninja Turtles one. When
True.
Ninja Turtles were on Fox.
Yeah, that's a good point right there.
But would it be a crossover as well when they would like mix the Mighty Morphin and the Turbo, or like Mighty Morphin and like other Power Rangers? No.
No, no, no.
Full House Family Matters mentioned that one. Supernatural Scooby Doo. That sounds great. And then, all the Arrowverse
Supernatural
stuff.
crossed over with Scooby-Doo.
I'm going to probably watch that one. That
I
sounds
mean, I guess
amazing, right?
that's yeah, I guess that's what happens when you have, like, 17 seasons of a show, you just run out of ideas.
Once you hit season 12 of a show, you got to do a Scooby
I
Doo.
I'm so curious as to what element of Scooby-Doo crossed over. Like, did they have, like, really realistic versions of the whole
Other way
mystery crew?
around. They actually made animated Supernaturals.
Oh, okay. Alright.
I bet Shime has seen this. Shime, let us know how the Scooby Doo Supernatural
Where has
crossover went.
Scooby-Doo been airing that they did this?
It would make sense that the CW would be able to do this because they had like the Riverdale stuff. So like they had like the
True.
comics and shit. So
That's true.
all right. Riverdale in general was like a giant crossover because you'd have like the Pussycats on there.
Who played
Uh,
Josie?
I don't know.
Okay.
Josie broke up from the Pussycats. I didn't really appreciate that. I
Well,
just saw that
Stout
the other
gotta go
week.
solo.
The other week was I don't know what the anniversary was, but Spice World came out on December 26th. I
Oh,
retweeted that.
speaking of pop stars breaking off,
Mhm.
have you seen the discourse surrounding this Robbie Williams movie? So,
Oh,
I
it's a giant monkey, right?
yeah, so you didn't know who Robbie Williams was, I presume, right?
Robin Williams.
I had heard the name, but I didn't know who Robbie Williams was. And then online, the Brits will like on TikTok especially be like, "You didn't know who made this banger of a song?" And it's like the worst song you've ever heard. And you're like, "This isn't helping you guys. This is not helping you." So apparently, Robbie Williams was in a popular British boy band that got famous early mid 90s, and then he went solo. They tried to launch him in the US a couple times, but he was squashed because his music stinks. But apparently he's very popular in Britain. So this is his biopic, and
I
he's
feel
he's
like
the
I would have
monkey. So
remembered if a monkey was doing pop music.
they I'm telling you, you might know one of his songs. Look up his like 2 or 3 most famous songs, and you're like, this stinks.
But that is the monkey movie, right?
That is the monkey movie. Yeah.
And the monkey's doing a ton of drugs.
Presumably because it's
Because
a
the
biopic.
Avengers never told him not to eat fentanyl.
There you go.
That would have saved that monkey.
Full
All
circle.
right, so check us out at the end of the week. We'll have something better than what we just did.
We'll have
News
something
dinner.
better than Robbie Williams' music.